When I got started on Poshmark, I had no idea what I was doing. I had heard about it for years from bloggers that I followed in the US, and I joined the waitlist to find out when it would be launching in Canada. And as soon as I got that email, I signed up right away. I figured I would use Poshmark to sell some of my old items that didn't fit, that I didn't wear anymore, and were just hanging in my closet with no place to go. And I had no idea what it was gonna turn into. Today I'm gonna be sharing 10 things I wish I knew when I was getting started. I thought this would be a fun way to kind of look back at how far I've come, but also share some tips for those who might just be getting started on Poshmark in Canada, in Australia, or in the US. And before I dive into my list of 10 things, I would love to hear from you. What is one thing you wish you knew when you were getting started on your Poshmark journey? Be sure to leave a comment down below. Here's 10 things I wish I knew when I was getting started on Poshmark. Number 1, so basic, take square photos. Why didn't no one tell me? I just missed the memo. I signed up for Poshmark and I was all excited. I chose the items I was gonna sell, hung them up, took some photos, and then got to the app and was like, oh, they're supposed to be square. And then things were cut off and I had to actually retake all of my photos. So when you're taking your photos on Poshmark, choosing a square option right off the bat is gonna help you so much. I love that I have that option right on my iPhone. I take all my photos in square mode and it saves me having to crop them or things being cut out of the photo. Next up, check items carefully. And while it's something I wish I knew when I was getting started, it is something that I have to remind myself of often, even now that I have like a year and a half of experience. Check items carefully when you're buying items in store or online to see what flaws they have and have a full picture of what the items are. When you're listing those items, be sure to disclose those flaws and be super transparent about any wear on the items so that the buyer has the full picture of an item that they're looking to purchase. It's really helpful to get to know what to look for in certain categories. With jeans, I always look to the hems to see if there's any fraying at the bottom. I look to the back and the front to see if there's any puckering or stretching. You want to make sure that the zippers work, check the pockets, all of those things. In the categories that you sell, just get to know where items have wear and what to look for, and then you can make the best decision about whether or not you want to buy that item, if you want to sell it, and how to best showcase that item to your potential buyers. The third thing I wish I knew is to leave a little bittle. The third thing I wish I knew is to leave a bit of room in pricing. Because that price you list, it's not the price you're gonna get, even if someone buys that item outright. Poshmark still takes 20%, and unless someone just buys it, you're probably gonna be sending an offer, maybe an offer to liker, maybe you're using closet clear out, or maybe the buyer is sending you an offer. Once you do your research and understand an item's resale value by checking comps and putting all the pieces together, make sure to leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room. That way you can accept offers and offer competitive pricing to your potential buyers. And make sure you're making the profit that you wanna make from an item. The fourth thing I wish I knew is to share. Sharing is caring. But also, when I got started on Poshmark in June 2019, I didn't do anything with any of my items for months. And then, I don't know, something clicked for me in the fall of 2019, and I was like, I should look into that Poshmark thing again. And started to realize that I needed to share my own items. I shared this in a number of videos before, but sharing your own items is a simple and powerful thing you can do and you have control over to help bring your items back to the top of search. And that means that more people are gonna be seeing your items and you're gonna have more visibility. So sharing your own items is something that you can get started with early and continue to do to help you have more success in your Poshmark closet. The fifth thing I wish I knew is to utilize all the real estate you have in your photos, in your title, and in your description. So when I first got started, I wasn't writing just like dress or jeans. I wasn't that bad, but my listings weren't great. I look back at them now and I'm like, oh wow, I'm so glad that's sold with that minimal description. Poshmark gives you a lot of opportunity to showcase your item in your listing, so use it. You can add up to 16 photos and 1 video to really showcase all the details of an item. You've also got 50 characters in your title as well as 500 characters in your description. And so all of those are places where you can add things like the brand, the style, the color, the fabric. Really get into what that item is and share as much as you possibly can using as many of those characters as you can. This helps to paint a complete picture for your item and give buyers an idea of what it is that they're looking to buy. Think about the brands and the sites that you like to shop on and the way that they describe their items. Whether it's a jar of peanut butter, a hair care product, or a dress, the company is going to use descriptive words to describe those items, and you should treat your Poshmark listings just the same. Number 6, High retail price does not equal high resale value. It is so easy to get caught up with brands and see an item and be like, oh my gosh, that cost so much money, or I paid so much money for that, and expect that that's going to translate to a high profit on the resale market. And sometimes that's true, but sometimes it's not. And it's kind of disappointing when it happens, but it's just sort of the reality. There isn't always a direct correlation between what an item cost and what it's going to get on the resale market. There's so many factors that contribute to this, but some of them are brand, style, demand, wearability, condition. The list goes on and on and on. This can be really frustrating, but it's all part of learning. And as you start to resell more items, you'll get to know which brands hold their retail value and others which don't as much. And then you can make an informed decision about whether or not an item is worth it for you to sell. I think that one's an especially hard lesson when it's your own item, because you know exactly what you paid for it, and letting go of it feels that much harder, especially if you're only going to get a much smaller amount. Number 7 is listen and learn, but do your own thing. I'm one of those people that when I have an interest in something, I love to go deep. I read all the blogs, I watch all the YouTube videos, I follow the people on the Instagram, I dive in. And that's exactly what I did when I got started on Poshmark. And it helped me to learn so much. And I found this whole world of reselling that I had not a huge idea existed. And I'm so grateful that I learned so much from all of these people. But as time has gone on, I've also come to realize that it's my business and I get to choose how to run it. I get to choose what my business model is. I get to choose the items that I sell and how much I sell them for. And I think the best way to learn that is really by doing. I think it's really easy to get caught up because a reseller who you know, like, and trust and really admire might say that something's a bolo or they do things a certain way and you feel compelled to do them that way. But you don't have to, and you get to do it your way. And remember, just because so-and-so said it was a bolo doesn't mean you have to get it. As you start to learn more and more about reselling, it can be debilitating to want to do everything right. But here's the thing, done is better than perfect. You can't sell an item that's sitting in a pile waiting to be photographed. You can't sell a listing that's sitting in your drafts waiting to get the description just right. As Miss Frizzle in the Magic School Bus says, take chances, make mistakes, get messy. It's okay to take chances and make mistakes and learn along the way, and that is going to help you be a better reseller and learn more for the future. I think I probably knew this one, but maybe not to the extent that I've come to realize it in my business, is that there's gonna be highs and there's gonna be lows. Making my first sale on Poshmark was honestly such an incredible experience, and I was so excited and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun, I love this. And as I became consistent and listed more and kept going, it was really exciting. And then I saw my 10th sale, and then I became a Poshmark ambassador, and then I got to speak at an event, and all these things followed along, and it was so cool. And one of the things I'd love to remind you to do is to celebrate those milestones along the way. And whether you're part-time or whether you're full-time, find the joy in the journey. And then also learn from your mistakes. There's gonna be low points. You're gonna have cases opened up against you. You're gonna go through periods of time where you might not make sales. As I talked about in my last video, consistency and that compound effect of continuing to do those actions is key. If you get a case opened up against you, don't take it personally. Learn from the experience, see what makes sense in your response, and then let it go. There will be highs and there will be lows. Be sure to celebrate your wins and learn from your mistakes and keep going. This is the one that probably surprised me the most, if I'm honest, and that is that this community is amazing. I had no idea when I was getting started that I would meet such incredible people who have become some of my best friends and I talk with every day. I've connected with so many amazing people all over North America, here on this channel. Thank you so much for being here, on Instagram, at events, both in person and online, and it has just been incredible. And especially over the last year, when it has been such a challenging time, those connections have honestly been such a gift, and I'm just so grateful. I've met so many wonderful people through Poshmark and reselling, and hope to continue to do so. So thank you for being here. It's honestly such a wonderful part of my journey. Give this video a like if you heard something that you wished you had known too, or if you learned something from this video. And if you're not already subscribed, now would be an awesome time to do so. Reselling is such an incredible journey, and I honestly learn things about Poshmark and about reselling all the time, and I love that about it. I love that I'm constantly learning new things, meeting new people, making sales, and just continuing forward in my journey. And I can only imagine that a year from now, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Like, It's pretty cool. Let me know down in the comments if you thought of anything else you wished you knew when you were getting started, or maybe you learned recently and you wanted to share. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you soon. Bye friends!